What's up, gangos? Today I just want to talk about the idea of like your fears. I recently read a book about like how to get over your fears, and I was just reading because it was like one of the self-help books I had in my list, and it kind of opened my eyes to some of the fears that I have right now, and now I'm trying to actively work towards them. And from what I've learned, I just want to share them. And so like some of my fears that I didn't really consider fears, I would say like failure, rejection, having like hard conversations, typical things. Is just things that I need to get over, and I think a majority of people also need to get over because it's very important and crucial just for your own growth, for your personal career, for your personal life, for your career life, everything, right? And so it's like first thing I want to talk about is like when it comes to fear, I feel like fear is just like a problem. It's an illusion in your head, right? Um, like I know if you ever heard of the quotes like when you look at like let's just say you look at a big body of water and like you're like scared because you're like, oh, I'm not gonna survive this, and then like really like it looks like an ocean, but when you step in it's like a puddle. It's that same illusion. That's what they're talking about when they say that it's a body of water, but it's a mile wide long, but a puddle feet deep, something like that, right? But point is, it's just fear is an illusion in your head, right? You believe that you're scared of the thing, or like you're like it's like drastic to like look at it or whatever the case may be, but in reality it's just a problem. And as most problems, it's self-inflicted, right? So in your head you see something and you deem it as a problem, but in reality it's not really a problem. You created the problem in your head, right? So it's like, say one person has like a pop tire and you're like, and say that's you, right? You're like, oh, this is the worst thing ever, my life sucks, this and that, right? But there's another person with the exact same problem, his tire popped, but he's like, oh, I can fix it, it's not that big of a deal, it's like life goes on after I fix it, right? It's like the problem is the same thing, but it's the way you view it, right? So you can essentially create problems in your own head just by the way you view things. And so same thing with fear, right? It's an illusion. So if you let the illusion consume you, you start feeding into it more and more. You're like, oh, I am scared of this thing, it is big and scary, this and that, right? So that's like the first thing, is like realize it's self-inflicted, right? So that if you're in control of causing, you're also in control of like solving it, right? That's first. Second, it's the other thing I've realized is most fears are just like, you gotta just solve it with brute force. Like the idea of like exposure therapy really does work. So like a lot of things that you'll be like, oh, I'm kind of scared of doing that, or I'm just kind of, and then it's like, I know you've heard of the tricks, the 3-2-1 trick, where you're like, okay, you know what? When I count down from 3, I had to go do it immediately, whatever it is. Because most of the things that you're scared about it because you lack experience doing it. But in reality, if you did this a couple of times, it wouldn't be scary at all. The actual idea of it is not scary at all. Other people are able to do it. It's like, I'm human, they're human. Why am I like freaking out about such a little thing? It's like when you have to like go talk to your boss, or when you have to go to the gym, or when you're like, oh, I need to go talk to this girl's really attractive and I want to talk to her, but I'm too scared. It's like all of these things are such simple, humane things that are done, that have been done throughout lifetimes, like, right? And everybody does it. Everybody's capable of doing it. You are capable of doing it, but it's just in your head you think it's scary because of what can possibly happen, right? So the best way to get experience is by just going into it, right? Literally, you have to figure out a way to numb your mind so you stop thinking, and then you just say 3-2-1, you just go at it, right? And even if you fail, it's like, understand that if you fail, you'll learn something, and if you succeed, you succeed. It's like a win-win situation. It's you either win or you learn, right? That's how you have to always see it. And another thing that I've also really like from the book itself, they said this idea of like confidence and competence will give you more courage to take on your fears, right? So without confidence, you can't have you need competence to have confidence, right? And competence comes from being able to do something well, right? And so the more things that you do well, the more confidence you have. And how do you do more things well? By gaining more knowledge and skills. The more knowledge and skills you have, the more confidence 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 you have, the more happiness you have, the more happiness you have, the more success you have. It's like a perfect circle, right? That's like what all these self-help books will like push onto you or whatever, right? And it is true. Like the more you learn how to do things, the better you feel about yourself. The more you feel like, oh, I am capable, I can do this, I can learn, right? And once you have that confidence locked in, it's like, even if I have to go talk to my boss right now, he doesn't give me that promotion. If I have to go talk to this girl and she rejects me, or if I have to play this sport game, whatever, against someone and I lose, it's fine, because you know that you're still capable of doing things, and you'll know you'll be able to handle it even at a loss, right? So it's like when a problem occurs, really think through it. Be like, okay, what's the worst that can happen? Oh, if I go ask for a raise or a promotion and my boss gets so upset that he fires me, like worst thing that can happen, right? What happens? I gotta go find another job. Have I ever found another job before? Yeah. Is there job boards everywhere? Do I know how to do this? Yeah. So it's like, what are you really scared about? It's literally just a question that you have to have. It's just a little tough conversation that you have to have. A little bit uncomfortable, but it's like it's uncomfortable because you haven't done it enough times, right? But over enough times, like this is a question that you might have to constantly ask throughout your lifetime, right? If you always want to get raises, you always want to get promotions, which is a good thing. So you should get comfortable having the conversation as soon as you can, because that's how you grow, that's how you change, that's how you build a skill set, right? So, build your confidence. Don't worry about, try to understand that fear is an illusion, because it's just a problem that you self-inflict on yourself. And the last one, try to get as much exposure therapy and just solving with brute force. Like even yesterday, I was on the decline bench press, and I only do like one plate, but because I kind of like repping it out or whatever, and then I put on 25s on the sides, right? So it was the 185, right? And I was like, yo, I don't know if I really want to do this because I don't have a spotter or nothing, and I like kind of going for like 10 reps for every exercise I do. And like with decline, you can't just throw it over or whatever. So I was a little bit scared, but then I was sitting there under the bar, and I was like, you know what? Either I fail or I fail, and I gotta either save myself or something like that, or I get a couple reps and I fail it, but I'll learn how much strength I have or whatever, right? And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, you know what? I can't just keep waiting here. The longer I wait, the worse it gets. So then I just went at it, right? And I did 7. So I didn't get the number I wanted, but it's like, as soon as I did it, I was like, you see, why was I that scared? This and that, whatever, right? And, I got 4, and then I got 3, right? Just to be like complete thing. Because I did 4, and then I was like, I feel like I stopped too early because I got scared. And then I was like, you know what? It wasn't even that bad. And I went back right. I went back down, and then I did 3 more. So, like I said, it's like most things are scary when you look at them. But then if you can just have your mind understand that it's an illusion, it's a problem that can be solved, other people have solved it, and then you just go at it, you either win or you learn. And you keep that mindset, winning or learning, and in the end you'll win. I'm telling you.